I'm making this one on goddamn fucking women, dude. Like, we're in a day and age where it's like, they're unchecked. Like, nobody's checking these bitches. Like, nobody's like, yo, what the fuck? Like, you gotta stop your shit, right? Nobody's doing that. So, like, as men, we have something called logic and reasoning, and that guides us, right? It says, hey, you're getting out of line, motherfucker. This is what you got to do. You got to stop yourself. That's what a man is. It's stoicism, right? It's like control. Like, Jesus walked on the waters. That is representation of water's always chaos. He walked on it. He didn't swim in it. He was above his fucking emotions, right? Stoicism. So then that's sound, logic, reasoning. That's order. Women are not logical creatures. So they are fucking emotion, which is pure chaos. It's energy in motion. It's just like this, right? It's pure fucking chaos. And then we live in a society where it's like, they just get validated no matter what they do. It's like literally fucking my ex, I'm sitting in we and her are sitting there, and we're like, went out, had a drink, and I'm sitting there fucking we're at a brewery, and I'm having a beer, and then I start just talking about how, like, I'm grateful that I have friends, and I'm explaining the day about where I was hanging out with this friend and that friend, and it was really cool. I was explaining that, right? And it was an awesome thing. And then all of a sudden, she starts just attacking me on the shit. For no reason, because she's insecure. That I don't need her anymore. So what the fuck, right? And then so I'm like, dude, whatever. Shut. I can't. Like, I'm done. Like, she's like, no, keep going. No, I'm done talking. You are attacking me over me being grateful for having fucking cool friends and shit. Like, what is wrong with you? You know what I mean? And so then it goes on, and it starts into this fucking fight. And then the one bartender behind it. So then she's like, I'm gonna go hit my vape. So she goes and hits her fucking vape outside. I guess the one bartender, she goes out and she's like, fuck him, blah blah blah. Like, do you see women they're just like, oh, she's a woman. I got a pussy. She got a pussy. Guess what? He's got a dick. He's wrong. Do you see what the problem is? You just have like unregulated chaos, and not even unregulated, get validated for just being a woman. Like, it doesn't matter what's right and wrong. It doesn't matter anything. So then nobody's checking these bitches, dude. Like, nobody, nothing. They're just getting validated no matter what they do. And so then it's like, okay. And instead of like taking responsibility for their actions and this and that, they could just go from this whoever to this whoever to just get validated. If they're not getting validated from one source for their fucking like crazy manipulation and fucking unaccountable fucking bullshit, they're causing the issue, and literally for no reason. And guess what? If they got a guy like me who's like, dude, what the fuck with shit, and then like seeing right through the bullshit, and then going, guess what? Well, they could just go get validated elsewhere. And so then so do you see we're in a problem? Men, we are order, women are chaos. That's like yin and yang, okay? Yin and yang. Night and day, it's order and chaos. That's how it is. And women are emotional creatures, and we are logical creatures. So, do you see, logic, we can be like, listen, check ourselves. We're not always perfect. I'm not saying that. No. In fact, a lot of times, I'm wrong. But I try to learn from when I'm wrong. And now I'm getting to the age where I can check myself before I wreck myself type thing. But a woman just goes, no. It's just, and this is how I feel. And then I base all my logic on my feelings. And it's like, dude, what the fuck? And nobody's checking this. That's what I'm saying. There's no regulation. It's just unregulated chaos. And so what we're in is this fucking crazy shit where women are just, I don't even know. They're not all like that. But Jesus Christ, it's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Unregulated chaos is where we're at right now. And it's the bane of society. It's going to be the downfall, because it's like, and they're like, oh, this bad thing, toxic masculinity. If you're like, dude, if you just like talk shit to them, like, what are you talking about? What you're saying doesn't make any sense. Stop your shit. You're a toxic male. You're toxic masculinity. It's like, it doesn't matter that there's no such thing as toxic femininity. Like, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. It's like, wow, I'm like, what is the opposite of, like, I'm trying to think. It'd be like, fucking, what is the opposite of feminism? Right? You look it up, the antonym. It's like bigotry, all this. It's not like, it's nothing. It's like this whole feminist shit. What is the opposite of that? Bigotry. You can't even literally fucking, there is no antonym. There is no antonym besides bigotry, fucking misogyny, like all this crazy shit. And it's like, do you see? You can't, there isn't even an antonym for that shit. It's like, what the fuck? There's no toxic femininity. Do you see what I'm saying? It's all unregulated chaos. And that's the problem. That's why it's like a strong male, and the woman's supposed to fucking, like, if he's a good leader and he's got his eyes on the prize, like to become the best version of himself. He makes himself so good that he has more for everybody around him. That's a great king. And he's always trying to do the right thing. The King of Kings, the Lord of the Lords, that's what it is. It's the hierarchy system. He puts the best possible thing that he can do at all times, and that's what he's striving to do, right? So then he's on that path. That's what he's saying. Then the woman is supposed to join the fucking path of, like, this is how nature works. This is how it was, you know, and this is what it is. And this is still an instinctual drive. And so then she goes, okay. And then she goes, well, how can I help this? You know what I mean? That we can work together. And her job is to fucking detract him from his goals just enough to where she's part of it, where she is part of the fucking goal, because she makes it an easy, an awesome experience. She makes it worth it for him. But now we live in a society where it's like the woman, just because the way she looks, and then she might be able to offer up some fucking pussy or something, and then all of a sudden he's like, well, that's it. That's all you have to offer. And then guess what? And then she doesn't have to work. None of it. It's like, dude, reality is both people have to fucking work at it. And I believe that it is the woman's job to create more intimacy. That is what they want. Even if you go into like what it is, like a woman might want drive and like masculine type of principles, like in her 20s, where it's like, I want to succeed. I want to this. But by the time she is 30, she's like, I gotta have kids and shit. Like, what am I doing? You know, and that's why there's a fucking curve in the fucking success and shit. And then the woman would be like, it's because of fucking misogyny and shit. It's because men don't need it. Men are like goal driven. This is what we did. I don't even need a fucking family as long as I succeed. That's how men are, right? Women are, I need a family. It's part of my goal. So that is indicative of, okay, well, she better find a man. You know how she could find a man is she creates intimacy. She creates an attraction that is very sweet and pleasant, and then fucking, you know, and he goes, wow, I could spend my life with this woman. She's just like picking up all the slack and the little things and showing that she cares. And then all of a sudden that creates intimacy. And then because she created that, then he will be like naturally want to like include her in this shit. It's just, do you see what I'm saying? And then he'll want to give his shit to her and everything else. And it's not because she's entitled, but because she earned it. Like, what is wrong with that? That's normal. It's normal. That's how it's supposed to be. I fundamentally believe that. But back to the unregulated chaos. So you have unregulated fucking chaos running around, and that's the whole society is like feminism and shit like that. It's like, dude, are you out of your fucking mind? Let's make unregulated chaos, make them unaccountable, and then just validate them for everything because they got a fucking pussy, because they're the ones oppressed, because they're the ones, and then it's like the men are like, dude, what the, like, and then guess what? Toxic males. And then if you have anything to say about it, and you're a guy, you're a toxic, you're already fucking just, they got it out for you, dude. Especially if you're like a fucking masculine ass dude. Like immediately, like, dude, like, you're gonna have like, there's gonna be a lot of women that are attracted to like a hyper masculine guy, but those are gonna be stronger females. Like that's just what it is gonna be. And then because those are the ones that can handle it. But then you have the weaker females who are insecure and shit. They're gonna go for the whatever Simpson shit that will just validate them, because that's the easy way out. Rather than take accountability and shit. Rather than be like, yeah, I got this shit. You know, like, it's so fucking stupid. I'm sitting there going like, dude, and I'm seeing right through the fucking bullshit, and I'm just like, man, this is fucking shit, dude. We need some way to check these bitches before they wreck these society, essentially. Fucking, come on. Like, and you could be like, oh my God, misogyny. It's not misogyny. It's like every single fucking person, if they're unregulated, and they, like, look at a king. Like, if you have a king, and the first king who made it was a masculine motherfucker, and the reason he became the king was because he focused on becoming the best version of himself, and he was well equipped, and he was the guy. It was just like all worked out, but he worked his fucking ass off to get to a point where he was like able to fucking provide enough for himself. Then he was able to provide enough for everybody around him. He was also the most capable guy. Like, he would just have the answers for all this shit because he had the wisdom, because he worked at it. That's what made him the fucking king. But then you have his children, and it's like, well, his children, and then after a few generations, now you just have this entitled little brat who's just running everything, and then it's like, well, just behead him if they fucking unchecked, and that's in a male. So it's not just females, it's like anybody. I'm just saying in general. We're just using that for example. But then we have unchecked fucking, if a person who's unchecked, power corrupts, right? Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. That's the point. And so there needs to be somebody checking this motherfucker. That's why there was the jester in the fucking thing. He was the one who could talk shit to the king and be like, yeah, well, you ain't shit still. You're still a fucking human, bitch. That's why that was there. It's like fucking, so, but in this society, there's nobody checking these bitches. And so you as the male who's like literally like just calling her out and be like, dude, what are you doing? Like, what the fuck? Like, grow the fuck up and take some responsibility for your fucking actions. You as that male, guess what? You're toxic. Now instead of fucking, and she goes, I express it to self-love and fucking this other fucking stupid horse shit. And it's like, you know what self-love is discipline. That's true. So if you're a disciplined person, you're actually really practicing self-love. Not in some entitled, I deserve this shit and blah, blah, blah. Stupid fucking horse shit, dude. I don't know if you can tell when I'm coming out of a fucking breakup, and that's what it is. And I'm like, dude, I see it's this unaccountable shit. And I'm just looking around and I'm like, this is fucking crazy. And I'm not saying all women are like this. And I'm not saying all men are of a stoic fucking philosophy. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying anything black and white. Because you know what? If you're smart enough, you'll be able to look in the gray areas wherever. The smarter you are, the more gray area you see. The dumber you are, everything is more black and white because it has to be out of fucking necessity. Your brain can only process so much if you're fucking stupid. So then you'd be like, well, it has to be compartmentalized in order to fucking handle reality. But the smarter you are, the more you can sit there and not compartmentalize anything. You'd be like, okay, like everything's subjective. Everything is not black and white. There's plethora of fucking gray areas. You know what I'm saying? And if you hear what I'm saying, and you got eyes to see and ears to hear, you'll hear that I'm saying like it's not just females, but it's anybody who's unregulated, unchecked with power. Like, see a dude, you just punch him in his fucking head and be like, shut the fuck up, and then he will. Because if he doesn't, you just punch him in the mouth. There's a reason you could punch somebody in the mouth. Shut him the fuck up. It's not just punch him in the head, punch him right in their fucking mouth. Shut the fuck up. Like, you know what I mean? That kind of shit. And it's like, dude, there's been plenty of times in my life where I've needed that. You know what I'm saying? It's not just saying, I'm not like, oh my God, I'm fucking great. I'm just saying an objective fucking thing. So anybody who's unregulated needs fucking checked, right? I don't know how we're going to do it. We got to come up with some way to make these bitches accountable. Because it's going to ruin society. And you can't even say anything because you're a toxic male. You ever wonder if anybody can be toxic? That's like people of certain races saying that because of their certain race, they're not racist. They can't be racist. And I'm like, that makes no logical sense. That is racist inherently just by saying that shit. It's like, so, do you see what I'm saying? Like, anybody who's unregulated, doesn't matter who they are, unchecked power, which that is. Like, if I could just run around and do whatever I want, and then just run from this, run to that person, and get validated, and anybody calling me out, I could just be like, oh, they're toxic, it's them, blah, blah. That is power. Like, that's a type of power. And if it's unregulated power, unchecked power, that's corruption. And it's just snowballs, bro. Snowball running down a goddamn fucking mountain, bro. I can't fucking deal with this shit. And I'm just like at a point in my life where I am too grown for this shit. I got no time for this unaccountable shit. Take accountability for your fucking life. Grow the fuck up. And I'm trying to do this. Like, I'm trying my best. And I have, like, dude, I was really fucked up in my life. And I have beat myself up so much when I was drinking, and just I would wake up and I would do such dumb fucking shit to where it humbled me down. I'd be like, how can I say that I'm really any better than anybody else? I just need to be better than I was, you know? And because I hated that feeling. I hated myself. And then I started working at myself so fucking hard, dude, and I'm still doing it. And I have a lot of growing to do. But I'm trying to look at myself in a fucking mirror and not say, like, that's what I think a lot of people do, and women would be like, it'd be like, oh, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the most beautiful of them all? And it's like, hey, well, I am, right? Tell me I am, right? Validate me. But see, as a man, or not even just a man, but like anybody who's trying to self-actualize needs to look in the fucking mirror and say, mirror, mirror on the wall, tell me how fucked up I am so I can work on it. Don't tell me what I want to hear. Tell me what I need to hear. That's the difference. That's a person of courage. That's a person of fucking stepping into self-actualization. That's a person who's fucking wants to be better. A person with hope and drive and knows the meaning of life. That's it. And I've grown so much. And that's why I know what I'm talking about when it comes to fucking, that's what it takes. And it's like, dude, and that's why we're at a point in this society that if we don't find a way to check motherfuckers, and it's not just women, it's like, dude, it's like, if you're fucking transgender, and there's somebody's like, I just don't like that individual. Like you could just not like that person, and because they're transgender or whatever, they're like, oh, you hate all the fucking trans people. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I mean, regardless of if I do or don't, that's not what we're talking about. I don't hate everybody all the time, but I'm saying like like regardless of anything. In this instance, if we use anything at all to where it's like, that'd be like if I said that if somebody didn't like me, they just hate bodybuilders, and that's why they don't like me. And maybe that's true. But the fact is, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to sit there and be like, you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say, fuck that motherfucker. I like myself. I don't need your validation. I don't need it. You know why? Because I'm finding it within myself. I'm taking responsibility for me as my individual self, and not just going, well, absolving because you don't like me. I can't handle that fucking discomfort. I'm instead of doing that, so I can't handle the discomfort. So I'm just gonna be like, you hate all bodybuilders or fucking white people or whatever the fuck it is. Like no, I'm gonna be like, you don't like me for me, and that's okay, because you know what? I'm working on myself enough to where I like myself. I love myself because I put in so much work. That is the way out, bro. That's the way out of the fucking bullshit. You want to fucking feel good about yourself? Then go fucking do something with your life. It doesn't have to be much. It could be anything. Just find something that you could do all the fucking time that will make your life fucking, that is hard. That it takes your life to do. That will take everything you got and just fucking give it. Just go, give it. And I promise you, you will be fulfilled. You'll be tired. You might not be happy all the time. You'll be angry. You might be frustrated. You might be this. You might be that. But I'll tell you what, you will feel fulfilled. And that's the point of all the religions. That is the point, man. And that's where we need to be, is take responsibility. The Bible says the truth will set you free. Friedrich Nietzsche said, it says the worth of a man is dictated on how much truth he can withstand. Something along that, I'm paraphrasing, but that is what he said. It's so fucking, that's the truth. How much truth can you handle about your fucking pathetic, weak-ass fucking piece of shit self? Rather than say how great you are, Tyler Durden said, he's like, you're not a special snowflake. You're a fucking piece of shit. You're the same decaying matter as every organic decaying matter as everything fucking around you. Exactly. Look at yourself as nothing, because it's literally just a piece of fucking shit, and really look at yourself for all your flaws and try to accept what you can't change and then change what you can. That's the way out. It's the way out of suffering. Buddhism. Following your dharma. It's a way out of unnecessary suffering. And life itself is suffering. But if you can make that suffering worthwhile, like if you go to the gym all the time, you put yourself through some serious fucking actual pain, it hurts. It literally hurts all the time. And you go do it. And then you're dieting, so you're in pain, hunger pains, all that. You're doing this, you're doing that. Guess what? You're doing shit that sucks, but it's so fucking worth it. It hurts, but it's worth it. And that's some rudimentary, that's something anybody can understand. Like if I go fucking do a bicep curl, my biceps start streaming, guess what? I got stronger. I got bigger. That's fucking it, dude. Like, and so thus you associate that suffering with a good thing. So then that is what you could do with your whole life. Is you could like take the suffering and enjoy it. Instead of, if you do not work towards it, all you'll have is pain. Pain for no reason. And also, then you'll have the pain of like, I could have been something. I should have done something with my fucking life. Done, dude. I'm done. Like, fucking done.